Hello everyone and welcome back to part 68 of Build HMS Victory. Okay, so as you can see, I've already added some parts already, and this footage you're about to see, this was filmed on Sunday just previously gone. This was part of a patron only live stream, and I've just edited down the footage from around about a 40-minute live stream down to about a 15-minute video. So anyway, over to John. So like I said, I want to carry on from where I left off last week, and I was just working on this beakhead section. So now it's time to start adding these head timbers, and we've got like 4 of these coming towards the bow. So the first one we kind of sits there, and we've got 3 more, and they get slightly smaller as we work his way closer to the bow. Okay, so we get this first head timber, and obviously it's designed where it's going to fit just slightly between these 2 parts here. So what I'm going to do first off, I'm just going to get me ruler and my pencil. I'm just going to find the centre line. I'll put it, yeah, it's okay on that. It's about 11 12 mil, so I'm just going to do a mark around about 6 mil right on the centre line. I'm just taking me this is my homemade T-square. I'm going to put that where that mark is. I've just made, and I'm just going to draw a pencil line all the way across. Okay, so this first timber head just fits us in there. You want to kind of get the centre line directly across this where this bow section is, where the bowsprit's going to go. I'm just going to drop this just inside there. Just level it up so it's dead centre. Okay, so I've just fed that part in there, and all that's going to do is just going to hold it while I move on to the next stage. I'm going to take another piece of scrap wood as well. I'm just going to put it behind the head timber, and all that's going to do is just going to slightly move it just about 1 mil forward at the bow section, so it's going to keep it nice and square. Yeah, so I'm kind of like just that's pretty much going to be held in place now. It's going to be while the glue dries, but I've just kind of got these wedges in just so I can carry on. Okay, so in the real Victory, we have this. We've got this main rail, but in the instructions we don't fit it in one complete part. We fit it in about 3 or 4 sections. So the first thing we need to do is just take a little bit of this 3x2 timber, and we're going to kind of go from the corner of this roundhouse. I'm going to bring it into a notch and bring it slightly behind this head timber. Okay, so I'm just going to use a bit of this timber, and all I'm going to do is slightly 45 degrees it, probably a little bit more, probably about 25 degrees. I'm just going to cut a section. So because the roundhouse is obviously round, all I'm going to do is going to take this half round file, I'm just going to put it onto my flat onto my cutting mat, and all I'm going to do is just get the part that I've just put the little 45 degrees in. I'm just going to run it backwards and forwards. And all that's going to do is slightly round the part from the square 45 to slightly a rounded 45. Okay, so I'm going to put this against the roundhouse, just in that corner there. I'm just going to slightly mark it, pencil mark it. Cut this around about 45 degrees. So I've got a second one, and like I say, this time to fit a bit nicer, and it does. Like I say, it's quite difficult to get this right with my hands in the way. What I'm doing now is just slightly straighten this cut off just a touch. Like I say, on these builds I don't tend to normally use a lot of super glue. Super glue is quite brittle and it's quite easy to break, and I tend to stick normally with the wood glue. But because I kind of want to get this head timber secured in its place straight away, I'll be using a little bit of super glue just for this section. Okay, so I'm just using my little cocktail stick. Like I say, I'm not particularly over happy with this camera position today, but it's like I say, it's all terrible build sometimes to kind of get good footage. I'm just going to drop a little bit of super glue just on the end of this part. Just going to run a little bit just underneath. I'm just going to pop this first section that's up against this roundhouse. And slightly hold it till the glue dries. So what I'm going to do now is going to peel this timber head back. Put a little bit of glue just on this corner. I'm just going to join these two parts, trying to keep my finger on this one in case it's not quite married up. Okay, so this time I'm going to try to do this the same on this other side. Right now, so pretty much like we did before. I'm going to get this part. It's already been cut 45. It's got the 45 end from when we did before. And all I'm going to do is just half round the edge again. Okay, so let's put the half round section in. I'm just going to put this right up against this roundhouse and pretty much just mark it like I did the last one. Let's get a rough pencil mark. Let's move this out of the way. It's kind of like, I'll probably go a little bit long this time, so 45 degrees here. Let's cut it straight down. And that one's going to fit okay this time. What I'm going to do is just going to slightly round this this end off a bit more. Okay, so because I wasn't happy how the super glue fitted on that starboard side one, I'm going to just go back to the trusty old wood glue and see if that fits any better. So before, I'm just going to a little bit of wood glue instead of super glue this time. Just going to bring the part over. Just going to bring this kind of under the camera's eye so you can kind of have a look exactly what it looks like. Just square up this this first timber. Square it a bit more. That one fits okay, so I'm just going to take my tape measure now. So my little ruler and just kind of check what we like for distance. I've got about 41 this side. And I've got about 40 this side, so let's take it again. Yeah, about 40.5, so half a mil. Yeah, happy with that. Like I say, one of the reasons I want to use super glue for is obviously just the quickness, the ease of obviously sticking, because I don't want to be waiting for quite a long time while I'm waiting for the glue to dry. We're pretty much, after the first couple of sections, that's pretty much where I want to be. And once all this glue's dry, we can kind of take out all these little supports. But I can't do that yet because the glue's not dry. Yeah, so the next thing we need to do, I'm actually using the drawing from the anatomy and Nelson ships, is we need to start adding all these little timber sections all the way across. And in the instructions, they tell you to use a 3x2 on your side, so you get the face of 3 and the side of 2. But I'm going to use it slightly different because I think the face of 3 is too long, so I'm going to turn them on the side and have it as a face of 2. So hopefully that we should get a few more in, because like I say, I think in the instructions it shows you to put about 12, about 5, 6 in. but obviously in real Victory you've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 34, yeah, you've got at least 20, so I think, you know, I mean, if we kind of get a few more than 6 in, it'll look a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to get some of this 3x2, and I'm going to just cut some smaller sections, just straight cuts, bring it back over to Victory. What we need to do is we just need to lay one right either side of this this space where the bowsprit's going to go. Right, so then we just need to kind of mark the first one, kind of quite short. Like, so it's quite a short one, the first one, and just starting to get larger as we go along. So what I'm going to do is just going to kind of cut this one 45 degrees. Trying to get it in my hand. You can barely see it. And all I'm going to do is just use this half round fine again. I'm just going to round it off. Okay, so I'm going to put it in my tweezers. Let's get a little bit of glue. A bit on one end, a bit on the other end. I'm just going to drop this on. And that's the first one in place. So all we do is pretty much same again. I'm just going to carry on with the procedure. I've got a small piece here. That's fine. Just check your piece of wood, just making sure it's straight on the end. Just straighten it up if you need to. Just rub it across the bottom of the file, and I'll just flush the end. It's too long, so I just need to cut it slightly to the edge. Bring the part across. Lay it on this section. In fact, what I'll do is I'll work one either side, so we get a chance for the glue to dry. Same again like I did before. So I'll just mark this. Just try and be mindful that I get my hands out of the way. Let's cut it. Put a little half round into it. A little bit of glue both sides. Bring it onto the part. Now what we're going to do, like I say, hopefully this has had a few seconds to kind of gently, I mean it's not going to go off permanent, but it's hopefully gone off enough that I can kind of progress. Okay, so now we can kind of move along. We're just going to be kind of, all we're going to do is going to work either side forwards, either side's adding more all the way across this section. Just square this end up. Like I say, all you want is kind of have a squared end all the time. So I'm just going to square this end up. Pull this part on. Give yourself around about 1 mil from the last part. Draw the pencil line again. And just pretty much rinse and repeat. It's cutting, marking, and then just putting this slightly half round into it. Hold it with your tweezers. Just push a little bit on the glue on the bottom, a little bit of glue on the edge. Put it onto the part. Move your tweezers. Okay, so now I'm just going to take one of these 1 mil spacers, there's coffee spacers. I'm just going to put that between the parts, just push them together, to sort of get pretty much an even 1mm space. And you can see I've just got like a 1mm space, so all I'm going to do now is just going to carry on progressing towards the roundhouse. Okay, so after the end of the video you just watched, I kind of just carried on adding a few more of these, I think they're called head beams. Yeah, so I just carried on adding around about another 10, and I've still got some more left to do in the next video. And I also added the first head, like a toilet seat. Yeah, so when we come back in obviously part 69, I'll carry on adding the rest of these timbers. I'll put the head onto the starboard side, and then we'll carry on this adding some more of these timbers across. Okay, so I filmed this footage as part of the Patreon only live stream, and I did that for the reason that obviously I've only got a small Patreon following, but I kind of wanted to give them a little bit back, obviously for their support that they give to me. So anyway, if you'd like to join me on Patreon and obviously help kind of support me and support the builds I've got and the builds I've got planned for obviously 2021, I'll put a link in the description. Obviously there's also a little link on my channel banner page as well, and like I say, just becoming a patron just will greatly help me going forward, just to kind of fund these projects. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.